Hey everybody, and welcome to the first of 3 videos I'm going to do on how to search the most popular databases at Page Library, which include EBSCOhost, ProQuest, and ScienceDirect. Before you get too far into this video, I recommend that you look at the Google slide presentation in this week's module that discusses the terms and concepts related to databases, because I only have about 15 minutes for each of these videos and I won't have time to define all the terms. So in that case, let's get started. So the main thing you'll see on this page is the search bar, and you can search using a basic search for keywords. You can also look and see which databases you're searching by hovering over the Show All, and you can even choose the databases you want to search. I have selected all of them just so you can get a better picture of how much the limiters can narrow your results. But if you were doing a targeted search, you would want to only check databases that apply to your topic area. All right, so my very broad topic, and I don't recommend you do your paper on a topic like this, is cancer, because you're going to get too many results for this. And as you can see, we have over 900,000 results, and that's way too many for any reasonable person to go through, especially if you're only writing a 3-page research paper for a 1 credit hour class. You will notice that it's not limited by any source type. So you can see here what the source type is by the picture. These first few results are ebooks, there are videos, and there will be book reviews, there will be magazine articles, there will be newspapers, all of the different kinds of sources that we've talked about in class. But the first thing I want to do for the purpose of this video is narrow it down to scholarly peer-reviewed articles, because that's going to be the most credible sources. But do keep in mind that books are credible sources as well. We're just not talking about them in this video. So just by doing that, I've narrowed my results down by 200,000. The next thing that I will do is actually narrow it down by the publication date. As a general rule, you should look for articles that have been published within the past 5 years to make sure your information is as accurate as possible. All right, so that got rid of quite a few results. We're now down to 200,000. So I do want to show you a little bit of a difference between some of the articles that we have available before I narrow things down even further. So you can see from the first article and the second article that the first one has HTML full text and PDF full text available, and the second one says request this item through interlibrary loan. So what that means is that we don't have the full text of this article available, and you will have to submit a request to a librarian, usually me because I'm the interlibrary loan librarian, to get this article from another library or another source. So if you don't want to have to worry about waiting on your articles, another way to limit your results is by full text. So this makes sure that you can read the article in its entirety without having to go anywhere else. So we're going to click on the first one available, because this actually has the most accessibility that the EBSCOhost databases provide. It has both HTML full text and PDF full text. A lot of them you will see only have PDF full text. So the first thing that we see when we get into the article record is the detailed record. This is where it's going to give you all of the information about the article, such as the authors, the source, the abstract, and subject areas, pretty much anything you might want to know about this article. Then if you scroll down, you will see the HTML full text available right on your screen. The cool thing about HTML full text is that you can listen to it in addition to just reading the text. But if you just need the PDF, you can click on that and it will open in your browser and you can read straight from there. You also have options for saving the article. So if you go to the PDF version, you can save it to your computer or to a flash drive, but it also has the capability of saving to Google Drive. If you connect your EBSCOhost with your Google account, you can save the articles in Google Drive. Another way to save the articles is by creating an account with EBSCOhost, and then this save icon will save it to your account. The other really cool thing about EBSCOhost accounts is that you can set up alerts for certain topics or certain subject areas, and then you will get notifications when those types of articles become available. The next tool is the citation tool, and if you click on it, it gives you correctly formatted reference, works cited, and bibliography citations based on the style that you're using. So for this class, we're using MLA or APA, but as you can see, they have a lot of different types of sources available, so you can choose whichever one is applicable to what your professor wants. You can also export these to bibliographic management softwares like EndNote, ProCite, BibTeX, etc. The next thing is the permalink, and this is the link that you want to use in your citations, as well as if you're trying to share this article with another person affiliated with Lincoln, because the permalink has the information in it to ask the person to sign in to the proxy server so they can gain access. You will not be able to send this URL in the search bar at the top to someone else and they actually are able to view the article. So it's good to remember the permalink. Okay, so now that we've gone through all of that, let's go to the advanced search option and see more in-depth ways of searching to even further narrow our results. One of the best ways to do this is to use Boolean operators, and that just refers to using the words and, or, and not in your search criteria. So this is still a keyword search, but it will search for the two keywords together. So if you use and, it will search for the keyword cancer and the keyword, for this instance, childhood. If you select or, it will search for the keyword cancer or the keyword childhood. So you're getting results that either have cancer or childhood somewhere in the results. And if you use not, it's going to show you results that are not childhood cancer. That's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to go ahead and perform the search on cancer and childhood and see how many results we get. So a little over 130,000. This brings me to my next example of a way to search, which is by phrases. So we can actually put cancer and childhood into this search bar and put quotation marks around it, and now it will search cancer and childhood as one keyword phrase. So the words have to be in that exact order rather than, oh, cancer is somewhere in here and childhood is somewhere in here. It has to say exactly cancer and childhood. So that obviously has really narrowed our results from 130 to 2,000. Another thing that you can do is use asterisks. So if you have a word or a term that has a root that you're looking for, you can use an asterisk to search for that. So a good one would be organization or org. So that will be like our base word, org, and then it will search for organization, organize, any kind of word that has to do with this root of org. And then the other thing is wildcards. Wildcards are really helpful when you have a word that has two different spellings. And I'm actually going to use organization as the example for this because in American English, organization is spelled with a Z, and in other English speaking countries, it's spelled with an S. So if we use a quotation mark, some databases use an exclamation mark for the wildcards. This will actually search for both spellings of organization and save us a lot of time and make sure we're encompassing all the results that we want. And the final thing that I'm going to show you to limit your results has to do with these fields on the side. You can tell the database this is not a keyword. This is, for example, a title or an author or a subject. And that will give it more information and more power to narrow your results even further. So let's say, for example, you want to search for things that were written by Thomas Jefferson. You would put Thomas Jefferson and author to search for things that were written by Thomas Jefferson. And let's see if we get anything to come up. All right, so we got a few things. And then if you want to search for Thomas Jefferson as a subject, it's going to go from 2,700 results down to, well, actually, it'll probably be more. 26. It actually went down to 26. So anyways, that's another way that you can narrow your results. And that's it for this video on EBSCOhost. And if you have any questions, please let me know. If you're having trouble with search terms, you can also contact me and we'll work on developing some kind of term or phrase that really gets to the heart of what you're doing your research on.